Hello, my darlings. Here we are, vlog number 4. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I'm kind of shitty with my intuition for telling me to do this. Like, I'm not that keen to just talk about every nuance and feeling of my emotions in my life and to share them with the world or with any of the humans who are feeling called and who desire to listen to this level of freaking agonizing detail. But this is what I'm being told to do, so I'm doing it. And I'm going to give you a little update on where I am right now. So, on the will I, won't I go to Canada, on the plan of exiting Australia, and just where I'm up to with it all. And oh, what a journey when you are. I really want to make a decision that comes from my deepest truth and not my ego. And my ego wants to go to Canada so hard. My ego is like, but it would be so cool to be at that posh summit event, and it would be so cool to, sign at the book launch. And I'm like, oh, I've never done those things. That would be just like so fun and so amazing. And my soul is kind of looking at me. It's like the little angels, Not that my ego is a dark Voldemort angel, like love and light to that little part of my ego that just wants to be in that experience of being seen and being acknowledged and um being in the presence of like all these, change-making women and I guess leaders that I haven't really danced in those kind of circles before. It would be something really new for me. And definitely there is there is a part of me that I need to clear my throat. My voice is freaking out. Hold on. All right, that's better. No, you didn't need that cough that just happened there. So yeah, I you know that dance when there is and I just want to be clear, like, I'm not trying to make any part of me wrong, but that dance where there is a part of you that wants an experience, and then you have to navigate whether that is actually the highest experience for you. And I kind of feel like I could definitely use the money I have, go to Vancouver, and then, um, just sell my tiny house and then use that as the base to launch the new experience. Like, but there is this part of me going, dude, Vancouver was never on your bucket list. Like, it was only on the list, because of this book launch. And should I just tune in to the place that I'm feeling most deeply called to with my soul? And I guess maybe I thought I would just share like what's going on inside my Gemini brain right now. And the places that I'm being called to. So the places that are really calling me on rotation between them are India, and I'm really called to do like a yoga teacher training, maybe to also have some type of Ayurveda retreat experience where I learn a bit about Ayurveda, but also get treated with Ayurveda. And also, if I do go to India, then I would love to do some volunteering with Indian elephants. So they're the three kind of like standout experiences in India, as well as maybe exploring some astrology because I'm so into astrology. Maybe exploring Tantra because India's obviously got so much to do with Tantra and I'm so into Tantra. But those, yeah, it's the main things calling me to India. Yoga to like deeply strengthen my body, Ayurveda, and the elephants. With Namibia in Africa, I am so freaking called to Namibia. Actually, maybe before I mention that, with India, what I will say is there's this in my astrology chart, I have all in the 10th house of career. I have my Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. So the Sun is kind of further away, but Mercury, Venus, and Saturn are all pretty close together. And what that means is that in my astrology maps, those three lines, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, are always going to be close to each other. And so I have those lines running through India, straight down India from the middle and kind of towards the western side of India. And so I guess that's what I'm trying to vibe out is where do I want to go within that? You know, where do I want to go within that? But that's the vibe that I'm being called to with India. In Namibia, I have a node line, which is about life purpose, and I have this node line running straight through Namibia. And I can't tell you how much I feel called to Namibia. Like I feel like my whole soul. I see videos of Namibia, and I just start crying. Tears just start running down my face when I see them. And it's a totally different feeling. It's like just this, I don't know, deep soul feeling of like I have to go. And what I want to do in Namibia is I want to volunteer at a Big Five game sort of sanctuary and just have an experience of being around these majestic animals. Like, what the hell would that be like, you know? And to just be around these animals day after day after day for an extended period. So that's what's really calling me there, as well as I think, as I mentioned in one of the other vlogs, this deep calling to the indigenous people of that land. And I've sort of done a bit of research, and there's one particular kind of group of people that I'm really called to. When I see pictures of them, my whole heart is just like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Who are these people? You know, and I feel I'm meant to meet these people, speak to these people, you know, connect with these people. Um, so that's the Namibia vibes. And I'm also called to Spain. So I lived in Spain in my mid-20s, and it was one of the best years of my life. I lived in Granada in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. My parents were both from Cordoba and Jaén in Andalusia. And so that was kind of like this return to my roots when I lived there in my mid-20s. And now it feels different. I am really interested in going to the northwest of Spain, to Galicia, um, to a place called A Coruña. I went there literally for one day. This is before I knew any of the Astro Map stuff. And it was one of the most magical days of my life. Like the level of synchronicity was so crazy. The level of magic, all I can tell you is that it involved turning up like the day before, and the first day I walked along the pier, along the boardwalk by the ocean. They were setting up this massive stage on the beach, and I was like, what's going on? And I just asked a local, like, what's happening here? You know, and they were like, oh, it's the annual beach concert. I'm like, oh, who's playing? And they're like, The Cure. The Cure. Stop it. So the only day that I ever went to A Coruña was involved watching The Cure live on the beach and having the most, just one of the best days of my life. Like that day, it would be in the top 10 days of my life. And, you know, I was like leaning on the stage, front row with a pack of Cure groupies. And then it involved like bar hopping down the cobblestone streets with this gorgeous creature, lots of kissing, and just like lots of just feeling seen. And oh, I felt so myself. I felt so wild, so free. And it was just, I don't know, pure magic. And that's the energy that I have in that zone of like being fully expressed with my Mercury line there, but on this Jupiter Paran, Jupiter energy horizontal line that is about luck and joy and just expansion and goodness. And that's exactly how I felt there. So I'm really keen to kind of go back and experience how would I feel there if I go there now consciously, and to explore that Galicia region to see if I find a place that would feel like home. And I guess the other thing that's really coming up for me is that, you know, I am 52 years of age, and I am if I'm very, very, very lucky, you know, if I'm very, very, very blessed, then I'll have like 20 or 30 years, or maybe like if I'm super, super, super lucky, up to 40 or 50 years of human life on earth left. And so I'm definitely, very, very likely past the halfway point. And so, shit gets real when you pass the halfway point because you very much realize that it's like there's not a lot of time to waste anymore, not a lot of time to bullshit yourself. Um, it's now time to make sure that I'm living like deeply and authentically. I just realized I didn't set a timer, and that's not good. When you're someone like me, I need to set a timer. Dude, set the timer. Resume. No, stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Reset. That's what I want. Okay, at least I'll know that. I've already been talking for a while. Okay, don't know how to tell. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. I'm loving it. And where are we up to? I don't know. I don't have my glasses on, dude. I can't see anything. Why? How long have I been going on? You've got to be kidding. Have I actually been talking for that long? I feel like I haven't said anything. This must be a mistake. It's saying 18 minutes. How is that possible? I don't know. Anyway, apparently it is. But Jesus help me. So where I'm at now is I'm wanting to be very, very real with myself, not bullshit myself, and not be seduced by my ego. And I guess the other thing that I want to mention is this calling for experiences. So there are these experiences that I'm being called towards, as I've already mentioned, like, creating strength in my body with like some sort of deep yoga intensive, very likely teacher training experience in India. Really deeply called to these like majestic animal experiences, really deeply called to this cultural experience in Namibia. But also, there's things that I want to experience. Like, I want to, I basically like, I kind of I feel like in Australia, I regularly return to this feeling of living as though I'm an observer. And rather than being with my full-blown tribe, don't get me wrong, I am blessed. Like I have, I wouldn't say I have a huge amount of deeply aligned souls, but I have a little handful of people that I know love me and that I love and that see me. But what I don't have is many people who are in the same stage of life as me. So, people who, like me, don't have children, who have space for the kind of quality time and connection that I desire, and who are in a similar kind of frame of mind of really wanting to live this like big, expansive life that is like deeply aligned, deeply from their soul. And I don't have a lot of people, that feel deeply resonant right now with my soul. And that's okay, but and basically what spirit is telling me that the way that I'm going to draw them is through this friggin' vlog that I just have to get online and be myself and that I will find my people. I feel kind of shitty about it, but anyway, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So what I will say is if you do feel aligned to my vibe, you should definitely like comment or say something and hopefully together we can get to know each other. Like my kind of sense is that with time that they'll end up being like big gatherings, big retreats, of like deeply aligned, like-minded peeps. But yeah, there's other countries and stuff that I want to go to. I want to go and see the Northern Lights, and there's things that I want to do. And one of the big things, this is the point I was getting to, is that I want to live in an intentional community. And I think this stems from these feelings of deep isolation and deep loneliness that I have been navigating for years, like totally feeling like the only way that I could have love in my life was by becoming what people wanted me to become. And if I didn't comply with the set of regulations or suggestions, let's be nicer, then I would be in some way kind of sometimes subtly and sometimes not so subtly punished. Or just not given energy or not given space or literally exited, from people's lives. Um, or very, very openly told that my changes in behavior were not welcome and that what was welcome was me staying as I was prior, being more compliant and being, I guess, just more of a nice, sweet little, I'll do whatever you want if you love me kind of person. And I just can't be that anymore, and I'm not willing. Um, and and damn, that has been just so uncomfortable, so hectic, the process of losing so many people. Uh, but within that, the greatest liberation of my life. And so I'm in this point now where I feel that I want tribe. I want tribe so hard, but it's so weird because even like where I'm living currently, where I am right now in Koran on the sunny coast, and it's such a beautiful community here, like such a beautiful community here. And they're so kind and they're so loving and they're so good. And they just don't feel like my people. And I want them to feel like my people, but they don't. They don't long term. Like I still feel that I need to leave. And it pisses me off so hard because there is this part of me that just wants myself to settle. I want to settle. I want to settle this is pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. Like, make yourself fit, Ayla, but I can't and I don't. And it just doesn't feel right. And so, what I feel is that there is this intentional community for me somewhere waiting for me, and that I need to get off my butt and go and find it. And I guess that's what I'm tuning into now is that I don't know what that path looks like. I have this sense that I may need to go to various countries. There's lots of places I feel called to go to, but that might be just to have an experience or an activation there with my astro maps. It doesn't mean I need to live there per se. But I feel there's places I need to go and have proper chapters, like maybe 3 to 4 months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. And the truth is that none of it is really clear. And that's the space I'm sitting in right now is what is the deepest calling? And when I let go and surrender my ego, then I feel my energy go towards Spain, and I think that's what I'm feeling. Like, I think I just want to hang out and I actually think maybe I want to really make these videos. This that I've been resisting so hard. I think I might really love it. Like, I might really get super into it. And I think what I want to do is just live a life that feels so called from my soul and to just share that experience and trust that if I do that, that will actually bring me the greatest path for my life. Like, for example, I mean, I'm 52, right? And I feel really cool to study contemporary dance. Like, I'm really into dance. I've done a lot of dance in my life. I've done flamenco, I've done lots of different types of dance, salsa and like some contemporary dance and like lots of dance. And I feel called to study contemporary dance. Like, yeah, contemporary lyrical is what I'm called to the most. If you don't know what that is, just Google that puppy, you'll see images. And, logically, that doesn't make sense. I'm never going to be a professional contemporary lyrical dancer, like at my age. But I feel like a part of my soul always wanted to do it, and I never really did it. So I'd love to maybe like go to regular classes or study a course, and I did some regular classes on the sunny coast like once a week for a term. But yeah, I feel like I want to immerse myself in that as one of the things I also do. Basically, what I feel is I just want to follow the callings and the passionate, like, I don't know, like this voice of my soul calling me towards the fullest expression of who I am. I want to write music again. I want to share music again. But I don't need to be a rock star. Like I said, I'm 52. I'm probably not going to be a rock star. I'm not trying to be a rock star. But what I do want to be is myself. I want to be myself, and I feel like there is medicine for me in just letting myself follow these deep callings of my soul and then sharing that publicly for no reason other than for the medicine of being witnessed and the courage it takes to allow myself to be seen. So that's where I'm at right now. If that resonates for you, I would love for you to like this. If you want to follow my story, please do subscribe. And yeah, if you have anything that you want to share, then I would love to hear if any of this resonates for you. Like, are you feeling, is everyone feeling it? I kind of feel like, one last thing I'll say, I kind of feel like I paused and went into this bunker and I've come out of my bunker and half the world is enlightened. Like, what is happening? You know, I feel like half the world is enlightened. And I don't know if that is showing up. But yeah, I would love to hear, does this resonate? Like, are you going through a similar thing where your soul is just calling you? Because I feel this is the call for the world right now, and that I am just sharing my version of it. But I feel like there's a big group of us being called to kind of, it sounds like a bit of a toss, but just to kind of lead the way with just reminding others that we're allowed to do what we want. We're allowed to live how we want, and that is enough. That is enough to make a glorious, magnificent life. That is, we're worthy of that, and that is the light that we need to shine upon the world. Aww, it's a bit cute. Are you vibing it? If you vibe it, give me a unicorn, baby. I love you so much, and I send you all the joy, all the joy, all the peace, all the good juju in the world. Mwah. Ciao, darlings.